Hiya, I'm Jay Johnson. I'm going to read some of these questions off these cards and answer them from my own personal experiences. Here we go. What have you had to learn quickly being in this industry? I would say not taking things personally. May not look it, but I'm a very emotional guy, I would say. And yeah, learning not to take things personally has definitely helped me a lot. Because yeah, at the end of the day, you know, when you want to take your music from being a hobby to a career, there's a very almost drastic shift in mindset that has to take place. Yeah, and that also involves distancing yourself and your personal emotions. So yeah, that was definitely something that took me a while to learn, and I guess it's still taking me a while. I guess it's more like a journey, really. It just unfolds, but you know, you get there and it gets easier. What's the most valuable piece of advice you have been given as a musician? Hmm. That's a well. I mean, this is definitely very specific for me, just because I'm so passionate about it. It was given to me by the guy that taught me how to sound engineer. This bit of advice. He said, "Jay, you know, you're super passionate, but don't fall in love with your own shit." Which is, I think that should be taken with a pinch of salt. Of course, you know, it's great to be passionate about stuff, but yeah, you know, I feel like not falling in love with your own stuff can. Yeah, it can make it easier if, you know, things don't go as planned with a release. Like, say you drop a song and, you know, it doesn't get the numbers you want it to get. That can result in a lot of self-doubt and, yeah, insecurities building up. So I would say it's very important, especially when you're navigating those emotions. You really want to make sure, yeah, you treat each song like, you know, something that is a part of you, and, you know, just you give out to the world. So it's yeah, something bigger than yourself now. And yeah, you know, you can appreciate it, but it's certainly important to be able to distance yourself from it at the same time. What will prevent an artist being majorly successful? I should know this. I don't know, maybe like, yeah, I was just saying to, yeah, Zalani, probably ego or hubris. Yeah, super important, because of course, you know, music is the music, but at the end of the day, it's all about the people. You know, it's the people that are making things happen. Um, yeah, you know, they say money makes the world go around, but really it's people. Unfortunately, money makes people go around, but you know, you have to remember that the most important thing is the people, and you got to keep good relations with people. You know, you got to make sure you always present yourself well. You know, give the kind of image you want to give, and yeah, that will definitely take you a long way. Yeah, things like ego and, you know, being arrogant, all that kind of stuff, that never helps. People can spot that straight away. And yeah, those are the things that would probably prevent an artist being majorly successful. So yeah, if you can avoid those, you're on your way. Career-wise, where do you invest most of your money? This is an interesting one. It actually, I would have given a different answer if I was asked this question before Monday, but something clicked on Monday. And I've made a note of it in my calendar. Something very major clicked. And I realized, you know, especially if you're an independent artist, when you're investing your money, it's super important to know where that's going and to understand that the power that you have with your music and where you can take that. You know, it might seem like it's easy to jump on a lot of platforms that other artists are jumping on, but don't forget, like, you can build your own platform. You can just have your own website and put all your music there, you know, and that's definitely going to give you a lot more revenue. And the power of a super fan is so important now, you know, like, you can get people pledging because they love your music. They can pledge, you know, however much they feel they want to pledge, and that can really go a long way, especially if you hit someone right in, you know, the emotional heartstrings. If you get them right there, you know, then yeah, they're gonna be more than happy to support you as a creative, as a professional. Yeah, one thing I've been doing since Monday is just looking to build my own platform, because yeah, you know, putting the content on all these major sites like Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, that's cool and all, but really you're giving them more assets. You need to look at all these kind of things as assets. You need to keep your own assets, fewer liabilities, you know, like paying for distribution, you know, that's usually a subscription kind of thing. That's a big liability. You want to keep your assets within yourself, right, and make yourself scarce so you're higher in demand. Because, of course, supply and demand concepts that are always in play in every single situation, at every moment. Yeah, that was the wrong answer, but yeah, it just yeah, finally clicked all of that and a bit more on Monday. Independent or label, this is an easy one. Independent forever, I'm gonna say, because really I make music to just maintain an adequate level of mental health. I started making music at a very traumatic moment in my childhood, and that was how I actually managed to keep going. So for me, everything else is secondary. I've got some lovely managers, so thankfully they can think about the business part of my career. But yeah, when I think of music, I want to think of beats, breaks, like hip hop rhythms, like melodies. I don't want to think of business. So yeah, definitely independent all the way. And I feel like when you're with a label, they essentially own your spirit, own your soul in a way. And a lot of the stuff that artists go through being signed with labels, well, it's devastating to hear because it not only affects their music career but also their personal life, which is of course like a major thing. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, independent, definitely. Labels just want to use and abuse you. So unless you're doing that to them, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't recommend. But of course, everyone's in their own thing. Everyone's on their own path, and yeah, I think independent is definitely the way to go. Keeping your own assets, keeping your own intellectual property, and when you're signed to a label, you essentially just become a commodity, and you basically have to be able to show the emotions that they want, at any given time. And if that comes naturally, then that's great. But when you're an independent artist, you can basically do whatever you want. And as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm the most stubborn person I've ever met. So doing what I want is what I want to do. Cool. I think that's all of them. Thank you for listening. I've been Jay Johnson. Peace.